Good day, students. Today we are going to start with a new unit of Information Technology 402, that is unit number 2, Electronic Spreadsheet Advanced. Now under this unit we are going to learn OpenOffice Calc, or the spreadsheet of OpenOffice suite. In today's class we are going to learn the first session, that is session number 1, consolidation of data, subtotals and scenarios. So first let us understand what is exactly OpenOffice Calc and how it is similar to MS Excel.
Let us open the OpenOffice suite and open the spreadsheet option from there. Double click on the spreadsheet and a sheet which is similar looking like Excel opens up. It is called as OpenOffice Calc. That is the name of the application, OpenOffice Calc. Now this particular sheet is an Excel sheet. It looks just like Excel. There are rows and there are columns and there are cells in which you can enter your data. There is a menu bar which contains all the different menu options from where you can, and there are toolbars which make your work easy. So this is basically the structure of the OpenOffice Calc. Now here we are going to learn today how to some advanced options. This year we are going to learn some advanced options of Office Calc, that is consolidating of data and also subtotaling. How we can do that we will learn now. So basically the structure of the OpenOffice Calc is just like your Excel sheet. We have already previously done Excel in your lower classes, so this would not be very difficult for you to understand how to do the different operations using OpenOffice Calc.
Let us now go to the first topic, that is using of consolidation of data. Now what is consolidation of data? Data consolidation allows us to gather together the data which are on separate sheets into a master worksheet. So in other words, data consolidation function takes data from a series of different worksheets or workbooks and summarizes it into a single worksheet that you can update easily. So this is called as consolidation. Consolidation means taking data from multiple worksheets and putting it into a single sheet.
Let us understand consolidation of data with the help of this example. In sheet number 1, I have got the FA1 marks of 3 students, Ajay, Rahul and Jay, in 3 subjects, English, Maths and Science. In sheet number 2, I have the same students, Ajay, Rahul and Jay, in SA1 marks in the 3 subjects, that is out of 50. Now, in the final sheet, I want sheet number 3, I want a consolidated or a total mark of FA1 plus SA1. Now, for doing it for so many students, it would be a very Herculean task. But consolidation of data helps to do this task very easily. Let us understand how. For consolidating the data, we first click on the Data tab, and under the Data tab, the Consolidate option. When I click on this Consolidate option, I will get a dialog box like this, which has got function. Now what is the function which I want to perform? I want to perform the sum function. There are many other functions, that is count, average, max, min, product. Many of the functions are available where we can use for consolidate, but here we are going to use the sum function. Now what is the source data source? The source data range. A range means a collection of cells. So which are the cells range which I want to consolidate? My first range is this particular range in sheet number 1. So I first click on the shrink button which is besides this. Click on the shrink button and keep my cursor on the first cell and select and drag all the cells that you want to in this range. So this is my range. My range is from A2 to D5. This is my range. I once again click on the shrink button, and then the range which I have selected, that is sheet number A2, that is $2, $A, $2, then D, $5, that is the range. I click on add. So this gets added to my consolidation range. Now I need to select the next range, that is the SA1 range. So I select this. Once again I click on the shrink tab and here keep my cursor and select this range. So here I got my second range ready. I once again click on shrink button and add it to the consolidation range. So my two ranges, that is sheet 1 as well as my sheet 2, are the two ranges which I need to consolidate. Now where do I want to copy the results of this consolidation? I need to copy it into sheet 3. So I click on sheet 3. Once again go here to shrink and click on the cell where I want it to start consolidating. So I want to click on A2 here and click again on shrink. Now I click on the more options and here I will select the row labels, column labels as well as link to source data. Now what happens when you select the row labels? When the row labels, then all the row labels, that is the names of the students, as well as the column labels, that is the English, Maths, Science, the column labels also will be displayed in my consolidated statement. Now here link to source data means that suppose I make a change in my FA1 marks, automatically the change gets reflected in the totaling of the marks. Or if I make a change in the sheet 2 or the data, any data gets changed, the change gets reflected because the two datas are always linked to the source data. Now once everything is ready, I simply click on the OK button and you will see that the data is consolidated. Now let us check whether everything is been proper. So here we go on. Now Anai's marks in 55 is his total marks which he has got. So let us check whether it is correct. Yes, he has got, in FA1 he has got 10 marks and in SA1 he has got 45 marks. So the total is 55. So that is correct. So this way you can check and see that all the marks of all the students are correct. Now here you will see a tab here, plus signs here. When you expand this, you will see Anai sheet 1 10 marks, sheet 2 45 and total 50. Now if I will again expand this, I get the Rahul's marks 14 and 39 and the total 53. Here once again I expand for Jai and here you will see the marks of 6 plus 22 which is 28. So this way you get a console. Now when I close these, the expanded ones, I will get only the consolidated marks of all the students. I can just increase the font for you and you will see here a better understanding. So this is what is called as consolidation. Now suppose I go here and I change this marks from 10 to 20. Now let us see what happens to the final marks. It becomes 65. That is because we have linked the source to this particular data. That is why whenever any changes I have made, suppose in sheet 2 I change this and I make from 20 to I make it to 10 marks, then here in sheet number 2 it automatically becomes 16. So when I suppose collapse here, this has got automatically changed to 10 marks and 16 marks. This way you will be able to see the changes which are reflected in the sheets. So this is what is called as consolidation of data. Consolidation of data means you can consolidate or add together the data of two different sheets into a third sheet with the help of data consolidation.
The next topic that we are going to do is subtotals. Now what are subtotals? Subtotal function returns the subtotal of the number of columns in a list. So a subtotal is to find out the total of a particular group of data which is arranged in a column. So when there is a big group of data of, if say for example the data of a particular class or the data of a particular house or a data of some particular for example in a shop, that there are many items that you have sold, so many keyboards, many printers, many pen drives. So if you want to get a total of all these items, then we use a function called as subtotal. You'll understand this much better with the help of an example.
Let us now go on to the next topic, that is subtotal. Now here, to understand subtotal, a very simple example. The Anand Bazar money collection of the different houses and the names of students are given in this list. So here we have the names of the students, the houses that they represent, that is Satya, Ananda, Shanti, Prema, the class and divisions that they belong to, and the total number of money that they had collected during Anand Bazar. Now if I want to create a subtotal of the different houses, that means how much money was totally collected by the Shanti group, by the Ananda group, Prema group, etc. I want to get a subtotal. So looking at this particular sheet, it is very difficult for me to find out how much money each group has collected. Or if I want to know how much money was collected by the 9th A or 9th B or 9th C, like this, it becomes very difficult just looking at this particular sheet. So I can create subtotals for this particular data. For subtotals, we will first select the entire data which we want to subtotal. Now click on the data tab and then click on subtotals option. Now here you will get the option group by. So here what do we want to group by? We want to first find out the house wise collection. So I click on house, and what do you want to subtotal? I want to subtotal the total money collected. So I click on the total collected. So here it is going to group by the house and then calculate the sum of the total collected. Sum means the total. Here you have got count, average, max, min, lot of functions which we can use for subtotals. But here we are going to do the total count for the total money collected by the different houses for the Anand Bazar. So I click on OK, and you will see now that a subtotal. So it is first all the Ananda house and the Ananda total 715, then the Prema total, and ultimately at the end of it you get all the 4 houses and the grand total of amount collected. So here if you will, once again on the left hand side, you will see that if you will collapse this, you will get to see only the grand total. And if you collapse each of this, if this is collapsed, now if you here each of them will be see plus, so you get to see only the Ananda total, Prema total and the Shanti total, so and the grand total. So this way you can expand it or collapse it and see the subtotals. Now here if you want to do the subtotaling according to the class wise, now see here the divisions are different. Ananda house is correct, but the divisions are different. Now suppose if you want to find out the subtotals class wise, so how do we do that? Once again click on data and this time subtotals, and this time instead of grouping it by the house, we will group it by the class and division. So here again what we are going to calculate, the total money collected, and click on OK. Now here it is the class wise, that is 9th A sum is 1036, 9th B, 9th C and 9th D. So 9th E is only 1, so only 117, the total is the same. So again here we can go up and we can just see the only the subtotal, grand total, or we can just click, and if you want to see only this ones, we can close them and see the subtotals. This way this is called as subtotaling. I expand it, I can get to see the entire data once again. So this is the concept what is called as subtotals. So subtotals help us to group certain columns, certain rows together and get a total of a particular column.
Next we are going to learn about is scenarios. Now what are scenarios? A scenario is a set of value that you save in a worksheet and you can substitute it automatically with another set of values. So you can create different types of scenarios and switch between the different scenarios to view the different results. So what is the meaning of a scenario? A scenario means a particular situation. So you can make multiple situations and multiple scenarios using different values, and you can see the change in a particular formula on the basis of that the different changing values that you give. You can find out how the entire scenario changes. That is what is called as scenario. Better you can understand it with the help of the next example that I am teaching you.
Let us understand scenarios with the help of this very simple example. Now here we have got a principal amount of 1 lakh rupees, rate of interest is 5% and number of years is 1. So here I am calculating the simple interest by giving this formula, principal into rate of interest into number of years and divided by 100. So I get the simple interest as 5,000. Now this is one scenario. I want to save this particular scenario. I will select this and go to Tools, Scenario. Now here I am going to give a name to this scenario. Let us take scenario 1, SN1, and here I can give any sort of description or comment regarding this scenario. So let us say principal is equal to 1 lakh. This is my scenario. Now here display borders. So whenever a scenario is been saved, I can give a particular display border to it so that it separates it out from the others. So let's take, I'm giving it an orange border. Now here I have to disable this copy back because whenever I change it, then it will be copying back to the same scenario. So we should not have that. So if it is selected, then the copy back values will not change when it will keep on changing in the active scenario. So you'll just have to disable this. Prevent changes means that if it will not allow anybody to make any changes to the scenario which I have saved it. And copy to entire sheet means that the entire scenario will be copied into as a new sheet. So these are the 4 options: display border, copy back, copy entire sheet, and prevent changes. So we will have to select display border and prevent changes. So it will not allow anybody to make any changes to my scenario. So I click on OK. Now a scenario is created where the principal amount is 1 lakh and the simple interest calculated is 5,000. Now we go to a second scenario. Now let's assume I want to find out what is going to be the simple interest if my principal amount is 2 lakhs or maybe 2,50,000, something like that, a different one, 2,50,000. This is my second scenario. Now here again I will, so automatically the principal amount, the simple interest is now calculated. I select this and again go to Tools, Scenario. Now this is my second scenario and I am going to name it as SN2. Here again I can give a comment that principal is 2,50,000. And again here I can give another border for it, something different. Let's take magenta. Again copy back I will disable and I'll say OK. Now this is my second scenario. Let's assume that I want to know what is going to be the simple interest if my amount is 5,50,000, my rate is, let's take 4%, and number of years is 2. So this is my third scenario. I want to again select it and save it, Tools, Scenario, and this time I give it as SN3 and here principal is 5,50,000. And if I want, I can give rate of interest or whatever it. If I don't want, I can just leave it like that. Again here copy back, and this time I'm giving the third scenario a different color. So my color border will be a different one. I'm selecting, let's take yellow or green. Now the my three scenarios are saved. So and I can save this file. Later on, suppose somebody asks me what is the simple interest if the amount is 1 lakh, I simply have to go and click on the scenario. I don't have to do any recalculation or anything. My scenario for 1 lakh is ready. My scenario for 2,50,000 is ready. And my scenario for 5,50,000 at a different rate of interest and number of years is already saved and ready. So what is the scenario? Basically, scenarios are the changing or different alternate values in a same set of formulas. You can save it and keep it ready for later on use in different scenarios. What will be the change in a particular formula? So this is what is called as a scenario. So once all these scenarios are ready, then I can just instantly use it whenever I want to. So this way I can create multiple scenarios for multiple varying values.
A very important feature of scenarios is to help us how to navigate between scenarios. So now in the next part, I'm going to explain to you what is a navigator, how do we view these different types of scenarios using navigators, how to edit a scenario, delete a scenario, and also I'll be explaining how to trace dependence in a particular formula.
Once I have created the scenario and everything is ready, I can just go and navigate from here using the scenarios, and I can see the different scenarios which I have created. Now what if I want to make some changes to the to this particular scenario, or I want to view a particular scenario, or I want to delete the scenario? You will realize that when I click on the tools button, the scenario option is disabled, which means that from this particular tools menu I cannot make any changes to this scenario, whichever scenarios I have already created, or I can't delete the scenario or make anything. So how do I go about navigating through this scenario? For that purpose, you need something called as a navigator. Now a navigator is available in the view menu. You can click on the view menu and click on navigator, or you can also press the F5 key and the navigator window opens up. So this is a navigator. Now here when I click on the navigator option, I get to see the here when I click on this option, that is the scenarios button, it will open up. This is the scenarios option for the navigator. When I click on this option, I get to see the 3 different scenarios. So I can double click on this also and navigate through my scenarios this way. So here this is the way of viewing our scenarios through a navigator. Now if I want to make any change to my particular scenario, suppose I want to change or I want to edit my scenario, I can right click and click on the properties option. Now edit scenario dialog box opens up, and here suppose I want to change the color of my scenario and make it, let's take dark blue, or I want to change this and I want to write this over here, all the details I want to include. So I am changing it as rate is equal to 4 or 5%, whatever I want to make change. So it was 5% for the first scenario, scenario number 1. I click on OK. Now when I double click on scenario number 1, here it has changed to blue colored border and the rate is 5. I already did that change and it is visible to me over here. So any changes which I want, I can do it only and only through my edit navigator option. Again, once again I'll show you. You can click on edit, view navigator. Now in the navigator, this is my scenarios button. Here I click on this. So I click on third option, double click on it. You can see over here, I want to make some change. So I'm saying over here I'm going to write down the rate at 4 and I'm going to add one more line as number of years is, let's take 2. So I have added these few things into right click properties. Here rate is 4 comma number of years is equal to 2. Now here I am changing the border. I am making a change. I am making it something else. I do not like that, so I want to make it something else. I am making it as red color. So this way, or if I want to change the name of the scenario, I want to a different scenario, some other name I am giving. So let's say caps lock SN new, something like that, new 3. This name I am changing. So I am editing this particular scenario and I click on OK. So now here when I click on this, it is a completely different scenario now. Here all the comments have come. My scenario has got edited and it is now in red color, and all the things have, name has also got changed. So this way I can edit a particular scenario using the view and edit navigator button. Now here if I don't want to, I want to delete a particular scenario, then I can just simply, suppose I don't want this scenario anymore. This is this first one, scenario number 1, I don't want it. So I can simply right click, from the navigator button and delete it. Once again, I'll show you how to do that. Deleting a scenario, I can not delete it directly from the tools menu. It is not available to me. How do I go about? Click on view, navigator. Now I don't want this scenario anymore. Right click on this and delete it. So click on this OK, and now when I go back over here, double click on this, I get to see this one, I get to see this, and the other one is deleted. So this way I can edit and delete my scenarios from the navigator. Now the next thing which we are going to learn is how to trace precedents and dependents. Now this is a new concept. Now suppose I have got a formula or two values. Let's take 40 and let's take 60, and here somewhere different place I am using these two values to create a formula. So I'll write is equal to, let's take 40 into 60. Now here this particular place is the place where the formula is there. But this formula, suppose somewhere down the line, it happens in many times when you are using Excel that you do not know where this particular option has come from. So you want to trace the precedent of this. So I will click on the tools option, the detective option, and here click on trace the precedent. So it will tell you exactly where the precedent is coming from. That means this particular formula, the values for this formula is coming from this particular precedent. This is called as tracing a precedent. Now click on tools option, detective, and if I remove all the traces, then it goes away. Now suppose you want to know which particular formula this particular value is dependent on. So I will again click on tools, detective, and this time I will trace the dependent. So it will tell me that this particular value is used in this particular formula, that is this formula is dependent on this particular value. So this is called as the tools and detective option, where you can trace the precedent and the dependent of a particular formula. Let us understand this now. Here if I will remove it once again, I'll say detective, I am removing all the traces. Now you want to see what are the precedents of this particular formula. So you click on tools, detective, trace the precedent. So it will tell you that this particular formula is based on these three different precedents. Tools, detective, I remove all the trace. Now if you want to say where this particular rate has been used in this particular formula, so you can just say tools, detective, and trace the dependent. So it will tell you that this rate is used in this particular formula. So this is called as using the detective option of the tools menu, detective option, to trace your precedents and dependents, and you remove all the formula. So this is the option of tracing of precedents and dependents in a particular formula. This is very useful when you have got a large worksheet which has got a lot many formulas and lot many values involved, and when you do not remember where you have used a particular value or where you have used a particular formula, what are the dependent and precedent values, you can use the trace detective option available in the OpenOffice tools menu.
So I hope now you are clear with the three topics that we have covered today, which is consolidation of data, then how to create subtotals in your data, and how to give different types of scenarios, and how to work with the navigator to edit scenarios and to delete scenarios. We also learned what is the meaning of a tracing of a precedent or a dependent in a value in a formula. Now those students who have the facility of downloading OpenOffice and working on your laptops, you can do it. Those who do not have it can go through the videos again and again, so that you can understand the concepts very easily. Later on we will see how we can try to give you a live session of these particular practicals. So till that time, please go through the videos and understand the concepts better. Thank you.